Anil Manghnani also now joins us on the phone line. He looks at levels very closely. Anil, of course, it's an event which has happened, which has led to the markets going down about 150 points. But now do you think key levels have been broken?
Yeah, I mean, I have to say at least the first key level got broken at 8650. Again, very tough to comment on the event and how to trade an event such as this. I think totally out of the ordinary or, unexpected. But I think two things, that could have led to the carnage. One is, okay, the news is there, but two things to factor in. I think one is already clearly mentioned, being expiry. So it comes as a double whammy. On days when you're trying to roll over and suddenly you see this kind of carnage, then the first thing is just sell, don't roll over. So I think the lack of buyers is causing the panic also, more than just the supply side. And the second point is, I guess, unfortunately, you're coming on the back of a 29% move on the Nifty over 6 months. So obviously positions are quite heavy on the long side and less on the short side, which makes it even more difficult. I think the levels to watch now that we are trading decisively below 8650, the first level would be about the 8500 mark, which is the 20-week moving average. That would be the first crucial level. And then below that, then you start opening up bigger cuts. But I think immediately 8500 now becomes a very, very important level.
What is the level that you said? I missed it.
I said 8650 was the key level on the downside, and that's the 50-day. We haven't closed below the 50-day since March, since this rally began. Even on the Brexit day, we traded intraday below the 50-day but never closed. So obviously today, if we close below the 50-day, which is 8650, that will be the first sign of weakness. And the immediate support is 8500, which is the 20-week exponential moving averages, and then subsequently you'll get other levels. But from a trend point of view, I think closing below the 50-day is the first sign of a weakness. Like I said, we haven't done this since March when this rally started.
Right. Anil, just stay on with us. Ajay Srivastava is also now joining us. Ajay, good afternoon. What do you make of the move? It came in as a shock to the market.
Well, the timing was a shock. People were apprehending this. If you look at the discourse in the market in the last at least 10 days, was that, this could be one factor. People were lightening up positions. But it came pretty faster than we all thought it was going to come. And to that extent, yes, it's caught people by surprise on a rollover day. That's the second part of the problem here. And it's caught a lot of people, and also on the month closing, because, the brokers need to close their account on the month end. So all your margin payments, everything needs to be up to date by today, so that when you close the account. So the rollover, month end, and on a date, so that's kind of complicated the matters more than they would have in a normal sense.
So it's an uncertain event which has come in on the derivative expiry that has led to the problem?
Yeah, partly, and also the leverage positions in the market, because they need to be closed today when the brokers submit their accounts on the 30th. They need to have a zero balance in their account. So all the leverage positions either need to be closed or they need to be funded. Now, that is also playing out today, because there is no time left for people to cover their balances. It's just 24 hours left to cover the balance. So they either sell, the broker sells or covers it. So it's not only expiry, it's also a month end where the accounts need to be closed.
Right. We have Anil Manghnani with us as well. Anil, you mentioned about the Nifty. What do you make of the carnage in the mid-cap space? It's much higher. Was that because of the point that Ajay was making about leverage positions, derivatives position in the market?
I think a combination of both. I think one, also you have to understand that the small cap and mid cap, if you take it this morning, the Nifty was pretty much flat for the entire month. So there was not much movement in the Nifty. But if you look at the mid cap index and the small cap index, they were still rollicking along and making new highs pretty much every day. So obviously the built-in positions are much more in the mid-cap and in the small cap. When panic sets in, you have to sell, and then even to pay margin at some point, you have to sell cash stock. So I think a combination of that, and I pretty much fear, I think it's just across the board fear, and you're not going to pick and choose then what to sell and what to hold on to it, sell whatever I can, salvage. And I think, again, like I said, the prices, many are falling because just lack of any buyers today in the market. So And I guess you're going to see probably the biggest ever volume today. Again, normally you get high volume days on expiry, but today you have the double whammy of the news. So you're going to get a very high sell day with a huge black bar. It's going to take some time to get over today. Yes, there will be sharp bounces once the news settles down, but the damage is done, for a lot of people. I don't think people will be totally complaining because, you have made money over 6 months, but nobody likes to lose money. And the way you're losing it on a news day, it feels even worse than you would normally feel, I guess.
Right. Anil, any view on Jet Airways, ADAG stocks, maybe a Syntex? All of them were, high leverage positions, and that's why you're seeing such sharp moves on the downside?
Sense of levels is going to be very difficult. I think you'll have to wait till the dust settles, wait till you see what sort of damage is done by the end of the day, what sort of volumes have been done. So individual names to start naming out, I think is going to be tough. I think you just take today with a pinch of salt and say, okay, something has happened. Let's recover. Let's see what happens from it. If I had to take a level on Jet Airways, I think about 450 would be the immediate support for it.
Right. Anil, thank you so much for taking out time for us.